Aryna Sabalenka sends clear message after sealing revenge against Coco Gauff at WTA Finals. In a commanding display at the 2025 WTA Finals in Riyadh, world number 1 Aryna Sabalenka sealed a decisive victory over her rival Coco Gauff, winning 7-6, 5, 6-2 in their crucial round-robin match. This win not only secured Sabalenka a perfect 3-0 record in the Stephanie Graf group and sent her into the semi-finals, but also carried the significant weight of personal redemption. The match was a high-stakes encounter, with the first set featuring a fiercely competitive tiebreak before Sabalenka's powerful game took full control in the second set, ultimately dismissing the defending champion from the tournament. Following her triumph, Sabalenka sent a clear message about her mindset, directly framing the victory as an act of payback. As reported by the Tennis Gazette, the Belarusian stated, "Going into this match, I wasn't thinking about how to get through it, I was thinking about how to get the win. It doesn't matter what is going on in our group. I was just trying to focus on the tennis and try and get revenge after Roland Garros, and that was my focus." Under the dazzling lights of Riyadh's futuristic court, Aryna Sabalenka's roar reverberated like thunder. It wasn't just the sound of victory, it was a statement, a reckoning, a message loud enough for the entire WTA tour to hear. After months of anticipation and heartbreak following her US Open defeat to Coco Gauff, Sabalenka finally got what she called her revenge, and she delivered it in emphatic fashion. The world number 2, often described as tennis's storm, brought her full force to the WTA Finals, dismantling Gauff with a ferocity that bordered on poetic. The match wasn't just about power and precision, it was about reclaiming pride, rewriting a narrative, and proving that champions don't crumble, they evolve. The fire that never fades. For Sabalenka, the loss to Gauff in the 2023 US Open final had lingered like a splinter beneath her skin. It wasn't just that she lost, it was how she lost. Gauff's brilliance that day symbolized the changing of the guard, the rise of the next American superstar, and the dawn of a new WTA rivalry. While Gauff basked in glory, Sabalenka stood on the other side, tears hidden behind her defiant smile, vowing to return stronger. And she did. The Belarusian powerhouse spent the following months rebuilding, not her serve, not her forehand, but her mentality. She worked on silence, the kind that exists between fury and focus. Every grueling practice session, every frustrating defeat during the season, fueled her determination to face Gauff again on the biggest possible stage. "I didn't forget," Sabalenka said after the win, her voice steady but eyes blazing. "I kept that match in my mind, not as pain, but as motivation. Tonight I showed who I really am." A clash of contrasts. When Sabalenka and Gauff meet, it's more than a match, it's a collision of energies. Gauff's calm composure and tactical intellect meet Sabalenka's intensity and brute force. It's a chess match played at lightning speed. From the first serve, the tone was unmistakable. Sabalenka's forehand exploded like fireworks, and Gauff, usually so composed, looked rattled. The American's defense, normally impregnable, began to fray under the barrage of ground strokes. Every rally felt like a test of endurance, and Sabalenka passed each one with flying colors. There was no hesitation, no overthinking, just pure conviction. After sealing the first set 6-3, Sabalenka turned toward her box, raised a clenched fist, and mouthed, "Let's go!" The crowd roared. By the second set, it was clear, Sabalenka wasn't just playing to win. She was playing to reclaim her story. She dominated with 80% first serve points won, punishing any short ball Gauff dared to offer. When the final point ended, a booming ace down the tee, Sabalenka dropped her racket and lifted her arms to the heavens, a gladiator who had conquered her ghosts. The message behind the victory. Post-match, Sabalenka didn't gloat. She didn't taunt. Her revenge wasn't about humiliation, it was about redemption. "Revenge sounds like anger," she said with a smile. "But for me, it's about balance. She beat me in New York, now I beat her here. That's what great rivalries are made of. And I respect her for pushing me to become better." Those words carried weight. In an era where social media magnifies every rivalry into melodrama, Sabalenka's maturity stood out. She wasn't trying to one-up Gauff off the court, she was challenging her on it, where it truly mattered. Coco, for her part, handled the defeat with grace. "She played amazing," Gauff said. "This is what makes Aryna great. She turns her losses into lessons." Their exchange reflected a new generation of rivalry built not on animosity, but on excellence. The respect was real, but so was the fire. A rivalry for the ages. The Gauff-Sabalenka saga has quietly become the heartbeat of the WTA. Their matches represent two different tennis philosophies, Gauff's thoughtful strategy and all-court adaptability versus Sabalenka's fearless aggression. It's a duel between patience and power, and fans are captivated. Every time they step onto the court, something larger is at stake: momentum, legacy, even the soul of modern women's tennis. Sabalenka's win in Riyadh isn't just another notch in her belt, it's a pivotal moment in a rivalry that could define the next decade. And perhaps what makes it so enthralling is the emotional depth both women bring to their battles. Gauff plays for the future, a symbol of Gen Z ambition. Sabalenka plays for redemption, for the fire that refuses to go out. More than a win. When Sabalenka spoke to the media afterward, her tone was more reflective than triumphant. "It's not just about beating Coco," she said. "It's about showing that I'm still here. That after everything, the losses, the criticism, I can rise again." That's the heart of Sabalenka's message: resilience. She's faced criticism for her emotional volatility, her on-court frustration, her double faults under pressure. But instead of letting those moments define her, she's turned them into stepping stones. Every breakdown became a breakthrough. Every doubt became drive. "People see my power," she said, "but they don't always see my patience. Tonight I played with both. That patience, and that balance, made the difference." The road ahead. With this victory, Sabalenka's path to the WTA Finals crown feels illuminated. Her message to Gauff, and to everyone else in the draw, is simple but fierce: she's not just chasing titles, she's chasing evolution. And for Gauff, the loss will sting, but it will also strengthen her. The young American has shown remarkable resilience before, turning disappointment into growth. If anything, this defeat might ignite another chapter in her rivalry with Sabalenka, one that fans around the world can't wait to witness. Because that's what great rivalries do, they lift both players higher. The thunder rolls on. As the Riyadh crowd cheered her name, Aryna Sabalenka stood tall, her expression a mix of relief and fire. The message had been sent, not in words, but in the language of dominance, discipline, and defiance. She had exorcised her ghosts. She had answered her critics. She had reminded everyone that she remains one of the fiercest forces in women's tennis. Revenge? Perhaps. But more than that, it was rebirth. Under the blazing Saudi lights, Sabalenka didn't just win a match, she reclaimed her power. And in doing so, she sent a message clear enough for the world to hear: the storm is far from over.